Have you ever wondered what makes someone genuinely love you? Not just like you, not just tolerate you, but truly, deeply love you? Maybe you've asked yourself this question during a quiet moment, or perhaps you've wondered why certain people seem to effortlessly attract love while others struggle to form meaningful connections. Here's something that might surprise you. There are really only two fundamental reasons why people truly love you. And once you understand these reasons, everything about relationships starts to make sense. You'll understand why some connections feel effortless while others feel forced, why some people stay in your life for decades while others drift away, and most importantly, how you can cultivate the kind of love that lasts. So let's dive in and discover what actually makes people fall in love with who you are. Before we explore these two reasons, we need to understand what we mean by true love. We're not talking about infatuation, the honeymoon phase of romance, or even the casual affection between acquaintances. We're talking about the deep, enduring love that makes people choose you again and again through good times and bad. This is the love that makes a friend drive 3 hours to help you move. It's what makes a partner stay up all night when you're sick. It's what makes a family member forgive you even when you've made a terrible mistake. This kind of love isn't based on what you can do for someone or how you make them feel in the moment. It goes much deeper than that. True love is based on who you are at your core and how that core self interacts with the world around you. The first reason people truly love you is that you create a space where they feel completely safe to be authentic. Think about the people you love most in your life. Chances are, these are the people around whom you can let your guard down completely. When you're with them, you don't have to perform. You don't have to be on. You can share your weird thoughts, your embarrassing moments, your deepest fears, and your biggest dreams without worrying about judgment. They see you at your worst and still choose to stick around. Now, here's the beautiful part. When you offer this gift of safety to others, they can't help but love you for it. Creating emotional safety isn't about being a pushover or agreeing with everything someone says. It's about being genuinely curious rather than judgmental, listening to understand rather than to respond, and accepting people's flaws without trying to fix them. Let me give you an example. Imagine your friend calls you clearly upset and says, "I think I'm going to quit my job. I can't stand my boss anymore." An unsafe response would be, "Are you crazy? You can't just quit. What about your bills? You're being way too emotional about this." A safe response would be, "That sounds really frustrating. Tell me what happened. What's been going on with your boss?" See the difference? The first response immediately judges and dismisses their feelings. The second response creates space for them to be heard and understood. People who feel safe with you will share more of themselves, trust you with bigger secrets, and turn to you during their most vulnerable moments. And when someone can be completely themselves around you, they naturally begin to associate you with freedom, acceptance, and peace. These are the foundations of deep, lasting love. When you consistently make people feel safe, something amazing happens. They start to become more authentic versions of themselves, not just with you, but in other areas of their life too. They gain confidence, take healthy risks, and often become happier, more fulfilled people. And here's the thing. People remember who helped them become their best selves. They remember who accepted them when they couldn't accept themselves. They remember who believed in them when they stopped believing in themselves. This is why childhood friends often have such strong bonds, even if they don't have much in common anymore. They remember being accepted during those formative years when acceptance felt impossible to find anywhere else. The second reason people truly love you is that you genuinely care about what happens to them, not because of what they can do for you, but simply because they matter to you as a human being. This might sound obvious, but think about how rare this actually is. Most of our interactions throughout the day are transactional in some way. We're polite to the barista because we want good service. We're friendly with coworkers because we want a pleasant work environment. We're nice to our neighbors because we want to avoid conflict. But true love happens when someone realizes that you care about their happiness, growth, and well-being for no other reason than you think they deserve good things in life. Genuine care shows up in small, consistent ways. It's remembering that they had a big presentation at work and texting to ask how it went. It's noticing when they seem off and gently checking in. It's celebrating their wins, even when those wins don't benefit you at all. It's also showing up during the unglamorous moments, when they're sick, when they're grieving, when they're struggling with something that doesn't have an easy fix. It's being present during the times when there's nothing in it for you except the knowledge that you're helping someone you care about. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. A friend of mine once told me about a colleague who became one of her closest friends. It started when my friend was going through a difficult divorce. Every morning for about 2 months, this colleague would stop by her desk with a cup of coffee and just ask, "How are you holding up today?" She didn't offer advice. She didn't try to fix anything. She didn't make it about herself or share her own divorce stories. She just showed up consistently with coffee and genuine concern. That simple act of caring, repeated day after day, created a bond that has lasted for over a decade. Here's something crucial to understand. Genuine care doesn't mean trying to fix everyone's problems. In fact, rushing to fix things can sometimes be a sign that you care more about your own comfort than their actual needs. True care means being willing to sit with someone in their discomfort without immediately trying to make it go away. It means asking what they need instead of assuming you know. It means supporting their choices, even when you might make different ones. Sometimes the most caring thing you can do is simply witness someone's experience without trying to change it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. These two reasons don't just exist independently. They amplify each other in powerful ways. When you make someone feel safe to be themselves, and you genuinely care about their well-being, you create an environment where they can grow and thrive. They know they can be vulnerable with you without being judged, and they know that your care for them isn't conditional on them being perfect. This combination is incredibly rare. Most people might offer one or the other, but not both consistently. Some people create safety but don't show genuine care. They're good listeners but emotionally detached. Others show care but aren't safe. They mean well but they judge, give unsolicited advice, or make everything about themselves. When you offer both safety and genuine care, you become irreplaceable in someone's life. You become the person they think of when they need support, the person they want to share good news with, the person they miss when you're not around. The love that comes from safety and genuine care is different from other types of attraction because it's based on something stable and enduring. Physical attraction fades, shared interests change, life circumstances shift. But a person's ability to make you feel safe and cared for, that's something that can last a lifetime. This kind of love also grows stronger over time, rather than weaker. Every time you show up safely and caringly, you're making deposits in the relationship. Every time someone feels accepted and valued by you, the bond deepens. It's like compound interest for relationships. The more you invest in creating safety and showing genuine care, the more love comes back to you, which makes it even easier to continue being safe and caring. Before we wrap up, let's address some common misconceptions about what makes people love you. Many people think they need to be endlessly entertaining, always positive, or constantly helpful to be loved. But think about the people you love most. Do you love them because they're perfect? Because they never have bad days? Because they always say the right thing? Of course not. You love them because they make you feel like yourself and because you know they genuinely care about you. Others think they need to have everything figured out before they deserve love. They believe they need to be successful, attractive, or accomplished to be worthy of deep connection. But some of the most beloved people are those who are open about their struggles and imperfections. Vulnerability and authenticity are far more attractive than perfection ever could be. So how do you become someone who creates safety and shows genuine care? Here are some practical approaches. For creating safety, practice listening without immediately offering solutions. When someone shares something with you, try responding with curiosity instead of advice. Ask questions like, "How did that make you feel?" Or, "What was that like for you?" Also, work on managing your own reactions. If someone tells you something that surprises or concerns you, take a breath before responding. Remember that your job isn't to approve or disapprove of their experience, but to understand it. For showing genuine care, start paying attention to the small details of people's lives. Remember what's important to them. Follow up on things they've mentioned. Celebrate their wins, no matter how small. Most importantly, examine your motivations. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want what's best for this person, or am I doing it because I want something in return? Both motivations are human and understandable, but only genuine care creates the kind of love we're talking about. When you become someone who creates safety and shows genuine care, something beautiful happens. You don't just receive more love. You actually help create more loving people in the world. When someone feels safe and cared for by you, they're more likely to offer safety and care to others. When they experience what it's like to be truly accepted, they become more accepting. When they feel genuinely valued, they're more likely to value others. You become part of a positive cycle that extends far beyond your immediate relationships. So there you have it. The two fundamental reasons why people truly love you. First, you make them feel safe to be completely themselves. Second, you genuinely care about their well-being simply because they matter to you. These might seem simple, but they're actually quite profound. In a world where so many people feel judged, misunderstood, and overlooked, being someone who offers safety and genuine care makes you incredibly precious. The beautiful thing about these qualities is that they're completely within your control. You don't need to be funnier, more successful, or more attractive to be deeply loved. You just need to be genuinely present, accepting, and caring. Think about someone in your life right now who could use a little more safety or care. Maybe it's a family member going through a tough time, a friend who's been stressed about work, or even yourself. How might you show up differently for them, knowing what you now know about the foundations of true love? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you experienced this kind of love in your own life? Can you think of someone who makes you feel safe and cared for? Or maybe you recognize these qualities in yourself and want to share how you've cultivated them. Leave a comment below, and let's continue this conversation. And if this resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Sometimes we all need reminders about what really matters in our relationships. Until next time, remember, you are worthy of deep, genuine love, and you have the power to create it in your own life and in the lives of others.